Hello, you lovely, talented human. Today, we are going to talk about one of the inevitabilities of being a writer, which is getting your work rejected. And I know it sucks, and it's not what we want to happen, especially when it comes to something that we've put so much love and energy and attention into, but getting rejected can actually sometimes be a good thing. And of course, I'm going to talk about that today. First of all, I've been a freelance writer and editor for the past 11 years. I have a writing degree. And if you want to see the quality of my writing before you take any of my advice, I'm Ginger Zephyr on Substack. Otherwise, I will link it down below. But first of all, congratulations. If you have gotten your first ever rejection, that's a good thing. It's a rite of passage. It happens to all of us. And I know you probably got that pang in your chest when you got the email or you got the message, but it means someone read your work. Isn't that amazing? It's not just floating out there in space waiting to be read. Someone has read it. Someone has engaged with it. And this is a great opportunity for you to improve your writing and become a better writer. So first thing we're going to do, whether it was a short piece of writing or a manuscript that got rejected, we are going to thank, depending on the circumstances. If you submitted it via Submittable, it's a little bit difficult to say thank you. But if it was an email rejection, you say thank you for reading my work. In many cases, editors are far too busy to give you feedback, but sometimes they're open to it. And there's no harm in asking. If they say no, that's fine. We move on. We figure it out ourselves. But if they say yes and they provide feedback, that's an excellent resource to figure out how we can tweak our writing and make it better, find out our weaknesses, find out how we can improve. But we always say thank you. We're always polite. We're always appreciative. We don't get angry. We don't get upset. When we ask why our writing got rejected, we're not aggressive about it, because that is only, that's only going to make it worse. And just because you have improvements to make doesn't make you a bad writer. And a lot of the time being rejected doesn't necessarily mean that your writing isn't up to scratch. The piece that you submitted might not have been a good fit for the journal that you submitted it to. It might not have fit the theme for the issue that you were submitting for. Or if you sent in a book manuscript, maybe it was just something that the publisher doesn't tend to publish. That's why we do our research first. Maybe they even have something similar that they're working on at that point in time. But if they do give you feedback regarding the quality of your writing, just know that that information is so valuable and will probably be able to help you a lot. So take what they said on board, have another look at your piece, and make a few adjustments. But if they don't give you feedback about the quality of your writing, that's when we sit down and we take a look at our work and we give it another edit. There have been times where I've had a piece rejected and then I've gone back to look at it and I've thought to myself, I can see exactly why they rejected it. Sometimes it just needed another edit, another proofread. Sometimes it just needs a little more attention. But this is a good thing, because if it needed more attention, if it needed another edit, this is probably the best case scenario, because you have an opportunity now to make your writing look better for the world. If you had that piece published before you ran another edit through it, that's your name, that's out there. But if you can perfect it a little bit more, if you can fine tune it, and then send it out to someone else, then that works in your favor. So it's actually really good. So sit down, give it another edit, give it another look, print it out and edit it the old-fashioned way. I don't know if anyone still does this. We were taught to do this at uni. I graduated in 2014, so I don't know what they're teaching now. And I feel like it's pretty common to do almost everything digitally, but hard copy edits can be really effective because you get to see the writing in a completely different way. So print it out. Even if it's a manuscript, even if it's a full-length thing, print it out, because it will probably help. And sit down and have a look at it, not from your perspective of the person who had written it, but from the perspective of someone who is going to publish it themselves. Could you change your voice? Have you fully developed the characters? Is there a way that you can improve the setting and make it feel more alive or more dead, depending on the piece? Could the dialogue be changed? Are you telling instead of showing? Are there any cliches? Have a look and go through it. And of course we want to check for grammar as well, because sometimes editors get really fussy about grammar. And something that we also need to be very wary of is making sure that the formatting is 100% correct. I've heard stories from editors about them receiving a document, and if it's formatted incorrectly, if the spacing just isn't the way that they like it, they won't even read it at all. So make sure that the formatting is completely in line with the guidelines of the journal that you are submitting to. We might even put it to the side for a month, because sometimes we just need space between edits and to come back at it with a fresh perspective. Put it to the side, forget about it, start writing something else. Take your mind completely off it, come back to it a month later and look at it again. And because we don't let our writing go to waste, we've spent time and energy on it. So we're going to have a look for new places for us to submit it to. And then we're going to submit it again, because your writing needs to be heard. And if it gets rejected, we do the same thing again. We don't beat ourselves up. We don't get upset or tell ourselves that we're bad writers. Everything is subjective. Some people like your writing, some people don't. It's not going to be for everyone. That doesn't mean that you're a bad writer. That doesn't mean anything about the quality of your work. Did you know Jane Austen, she was rejected so many times. An author whose books are still read today. She got rejected over and over again. She didn't get her books published until she was in her 30s. Imagine if she gave up. Imagine. This is why you can't give up. You've got to keep going. You've got to keep submitting, because you're going to get there. And we're not going to get frustrated. We're not going to feel defeated. This is just a step on the path to the right place. And if you keep getting rejected and there's nowhere for you to submit your work to anymore, you've exhausted all your options, make a space for you to submit it to. Start up your own journal. Create a Substack. Post it on there. Don't let rejection discourage you. You can still put your writing out there. We are so blessed to live in a world where we have so many opportunities to be independent as writers. You don't have to submit your work to journals. You can just post it on Substack. You don't have to wait for someone else's approval to put your writing out there. So if you keep getting rejected, do it yourself. Put it out there yourself. Sure, you might not get as much exposure, but that's better than nothing. That's better than your writing sitting on your hard drive. So at least do something with it. Put it out there. Because rejection is simply redirection. It's just finding a place that's more suitable for your writing than the place that you submitted it to before. Rejection is a detour to where you want to go. I worked in the strip club for 10 years. And one of the biggest things that you can learn in the strip club is that rejection is a good thing. If someone tells you no, that just means there's someone around the corner who will tell you yes. And the person who tells you yes is going to be more suitable anyway. Just because someone says no once doesn't mean it's a no forever. There are so many nights I spent in the strip club being told no over and over and over again. And then it would hit the last hour of the night. And then I would find that one customer and I would be sorted. I'd make my money for the night and it would be fine. A lot of the time, no just means not right now, or it means something better is coming along. Just because your writing got rejected once or twice or 10 times doesn't mean that it's always going to get rejected. It's not over yet. You're going to get there. People are going to love your writing. You've got to keep going. You've got to keep trying. You've got to keep persisting. Believe in yourself. You can do it. Be grateful for the opportunity you have to learn and improve, and be grateful that this is just a part of the journey. This is getting you closer to where you want to go. So don't get disheartened. Keep going. You can do it. And I'm going to give you a little task for you to do after this video. We're going to find a piece of writing that got rejected and you have left somewhere. We're going to have another look at that. We're going to give it another edit. We might even rewrite it all together. But we're going to take something that we gave up on because it got rejected, and we're going to remind ourselves, rejection is just redirection. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you. Don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on your writing. And I hope you have a great day.